Hello friends, welcome to Antenna Theory lecture series. Today we will see the types of reflectors. So these are some basic types of reflectors, that is rod reflector, plane reflectors, corner reflector, cylindrical reflectors, horn reflectors, spherical reflectors and parabolic reflectors. So in the case of plane reflectors, we have seen we can see one line, that is spherical wavefront converted to the spherical wavefront, and it has less directivity. In the case of corner reflectors, the spherical wavefront is converted to less spherical wavefront, and it has better directivity as compared to plane reflectors. And in the case of parabolic reflectors, spherical wavefront is converted to planar wavefront, and it has more directivity. So we will see the meaning of these lines one by one. So in this session, I will tell you more descriptive part regarding with the rod reflectors, plane reflectors and corner reflectors. For other types of reflectors, I will make separate video, and there will be one separate video regarding with the parabolic reflectors, which is most important reflector in all the types. So before moving to the brief description of rod reflectors, plane reflectors and corner reflectors, I want to quickly review on the basic description of reflectors. That is, in the last lecture I have described what are the types of reflectors, also its basic description and silent features of reflectors. So we can see the description, that is an antenna reflector is a device that reflects electromagnetic waves. So antenna reflectors can exist as standalone device for redirecting radio frequency RF energy, or can be integrated as a part of antenna assembly. The frequency range is 1 to 100 gigahertz. So these reflector antennas can be a single antenna or a standalone device to redirect radio frequency waves, or it can be integrated with the part of other antenna assembly. So high gain antennas are required for long distance radio communication, that is radio relay links and satellite links, high resolution radars and radio astronomy. Reflector systems are probably the most widely used high gain antennas. They are easily achieve gains of above 30 decibels for microwave and higher frequencies. So these are the wide applications of reflectors antenna, that is due to its high gain it can be used in the radio communication, in satellite links, high resolution radars and in radio astronomy, and it can provide up to 30 decibels of gain, which is very large value as compared to other antennas, and it can operate in microwave and higher frequency. The frequency range is given, that is 1 to 100 gigahertz. So we can see two pictures of reflector antenna, that we can see there is a large surface, that is nothing but the reflectors, which is in circular shape and which has curved structure. Both the pictures has reflector and the feed antenna at the focal point. The focal point is a center point of this reflector. At some distance we provide the feed antenna at that focal point. So one can see the big structure, that is in circular structure of the reflector plate, which has curved structure. The image shows the Intelsat Earth Station dual reflector. The first image is the Intelsat Earth Station dual reflector. So we will see how this reflector antenna works and how it transmits electromagnetic waves in this space. So the basic structure of reflector consists of two components, that is reflecting surface and much smaller feed antenna at the reflector's focal point. The construction that are more complex involve secondary reflector or sub-reflector at the focal point, which illuminate by primary feed. These are called dual reflector antennas. So the first image, that is Intelsat Earth Station, is nothing but the dual reflector antennas. The most common main reflector is the parabolic one. Other common reflectors are cylindrical, corner and spherical. So this is the basic introduction part of reflector antenna. So we will move towards the important point, that is the types of reflectors. So in the case of rod reflectors, the rod reflectors are very simple one. They are mainly used in the Yagi-Uda antennas. Like you have seen the Yagi-Uda antennas, there are so many directors and we can say driven element, and behind the driven element there is one reflector. So its place behind the driven element, and its length is slightly longer than that of driven element. If you see the structure of Yagi-Uda antenna, you will clearly understand what is the position of these rod reflectors and what is the function of these rod reflectors. It is used to oppose any back lobe or a back the wave traveling towards the back side of this driven element, which will forward to the particular direction. So ultimately it suppresses the back lobe of the antenna radiation pattern. So this is the basic function of this rod reflector in Yagi-Uda antenna. So its length is greater than almost lambda by 2, where lambda is the wavelength of the free space. It offers inductive reactance and contributes in increasing the gain. So ultimately, due to this reflector in the Yagi-Uda antennas, it provides high inductive reactance and it also contributes in increasing the gain. Here rod reflector is not the main antenna, but it is only parasitic element. There are some disadvantage regarding of rod reflectors in Yagi-Uda antennas. That is, the rod element is that it alters impedance of driven element, so it can affect on the impedance of the driven element. So this is basic form of rod reflectors and widely used in the Yagi-Uda antennas. So we'll move towards the plane reflectors. So in bracket, I have mentioned that in plane reflector, spherical wavefront is converted to spherical wavefront and it has less directivity. So how this takes place? As we know, in the basic structure of reflector, there is one large surface that is nothing but the reflector plate, and at the focal point, that means from some distance of wavelength from the surface, there is a focal point at the center at which we have provided the antenna feed. So what will happen? The antenna feed will transmit electromagnetic waves or the radio waves towards the reflector plate, and from the reflector plate these waves gets reflected in the space. So the main function of this reflector is to direct electromagnetic waves or radio waves in this space. It has something directivity towards the particular direction. But what will happen? The waves coming from the feed antenna, which are going towards the reflector, which has spherical wavefront. Okay, that is its polarity is of spherical wavefront. And when these waves gets reflected from the reflector, it has also spherical wavefront. If the reflector shape is plane shape, then the waves coming from this feed antenna, it has spherical wavefront, and the waves transmitting in this space or reflecting from the reflector plate in this space, it has also spherical wavefront. So due to this spherical wavefront structure, it has less directivity. So this is the main reason behind the less directivity of plane reflectors. So these are the simplest reflector to direct electromagnetic waves in the desired direction. It is difficult to collimate the energy in forward direction. So this is the reason why there is a less collimation of energy in the forward direction, because of it has spherical wavefront structure. So it has difficulty in collimate the energy in particular direction. In fact, the polarization of primary antenna and its position with respect to reflecting surface is used to control pattern characteristics, its impedance, power gain and directivity. So by adjusting the position with respect to reflecting surface, or we can say the distance between reflector plate and the feed antenna, by adjusting this distance we can control the pattern characteristic, impedance, power gain and directivity of complete system. So these are some points related with the plane reflector. We can see the image of plane reflector. The first image is the plane reflector. We can see there is a rod shape which is straight line reflector. There is no curve structure given to the reflector, and at the center there is a feed which is nothing but the feed antenna, and the point is the focal point. So waves gets, we can see the arrow direction, that is waves coming from the feed to the reflector, and the waves reflected from reflector to the space. So please remember the spherical wavefront structure of the wave coming from feed to reflector, and also the waves which are reflecting from the reflector, which has also a spherical wavefront. So it has less directivity, and we can adjust the antenna pattern, gain and directivity by adjusting the distance between reflector and the feed point. So this is all regarding with the plane reflectors. So we will move towards corner reflector, which is very important in this topic. So again, in bracket I have mentioned, in corner reflectors spherical wavefront are converted to less spherical wavefront, and it has better directivity as compared to plane reflectors. So in the case of corner reflectors, the waves coming from the feed antenna or from the focal point which are traveling towards the reflector plate has spherical wavefront structure, and the waves which are reflecting from the reflector and move to the space, it has also spherical wavefront, but as compared to plane reflectors it has less spherical wavefront structure. So it has better directivity as compared to plane reflectors. So this spherical wavefront can be slightly converted into planar wavefront with the help of corner reflectors. So we can see the diagram of corner reflector. There are two reflecting surfaces. Okay, we can see it is a dihedral forms of corner reflectors. Two reflectors are attached, two reflector plates are attached. There is no curved surface in the corner reflector. There is some angle between these two reflectors. This angle is nothing but the included angle. Okay, the angle between two reflectors is included angle. Distance capital dA, which is not mentioned in this diagram, is nothing but the aperture size, that is opening of this reflector. H is the height of reflector, L is the length of the reflector. So basically there are two forms in the corner reflectors, that is dihedral form of corner reflector and trihedral forms with mutually perpendicular surfaces which are used in the radars. So these are the two forms in the corner reflectors, that is dihedral form and trihedral form. In the corner reflector is a reflecting object which consists of two or three mutually intersecting conducting flat surfaces. So we can see from this picture there is two mutually intersecting and conducting flat surfaces. These corner reflectors has better directivity as compared to planar reflector. So we will quickly move. I will tell you some salient features of corner reflectors. Please remember these features. That is, it is simple to construct. That is, only two reflectors are required. By adjusting the angle between them, that is included angle, and the position of feed point or the feed antenna, we can construct these reflectors. So it is simple to construct. It is used as a passive target for radar and communication applications. It is also used in the home television antennas. So this is basic most important application of corner reflector, that is it is used in the home television antennas. The most preferred value of included angle alpha is 90 degree. So the angle between these two reflectors we can see from this corner reflector diagram. This is nothing but the included angle. So the most preferred value is of 90 degree. The spacing between the vertex and feed element position is increased if alpha is decreased, and vice versa, in order to improve efficiency. So when alpha is small, gain is increased by increasing the length of side of the reflector. Okay, by using the length of the sides of the reflector, one can improve the gain of this corner reflector. So there is some equations regarding with the array factor. I will tell you this equation in the next video. So for small included angle, the side lengths should be longer. That is, so this is a mechanism to improve the directivity of corner reflector, that if there is very small included angle, that is angle between these two reflectors, mutually intersecting reflectors, then the side lengths should be longer, and if there is a side lengths are shorter, then angle should be perfect 90 degree to improve the directivity of this reflector. So this is all regarding with corner reflector. For more information, I will make separate videos on corner reflector, which will again give some dimension changes with respect to angle, that is for alpha is equal to 60 degree and alpha is equal to 30 degree. What is the radiation pattern of this corner reflector? So there are some other reflectors also, that is cylindrical reflector. It is a reflector which is a part of cylinder. The cylinder is usually parabolic in shape. However, cylinders of other shapes are also can be used. In the case of horn reflector, it is a reflector antenna which consists of a section of parabolic reflector, which is nothing but the feed, with an offset horn which intersect the reflector surface. Horn antenna is a radiating element which is in the shape of horn. The horn reflector is either pyramidal or conical. So as we have seen the many types of horn structures, I have made so many videos on the horn antenna. So these reflectors has pyramidal or conical shape reflectors. And spherical reflector, it is a reflector which is a part of spherical surface reflectors. So this is basic points with the cylindrical reflectors, horn reflectors and spherical reflectors. So for parabolic reflectors, there will be separate video in the next session regarding with the dimensions, its radiation pattern and its characteristics with gain and directivity. So this is all regarding with rod reflectors, plane reflectors and corner reflectors. So please remember the point which I have told you in this video. So in next session we will go with the parabolic reflectors. Thank you.